Hello there, everyone. How you doing today? I hope you're all well. Today we're going into r/IDontWorkHereLady, where people get mistaken for employees in stores. If you enjoyed today's video, remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. And without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Old man thinks I'm a taxi driver. Reading these stories on the sub for a while, but never posting anything before. Had some stories in the past, but this one was just weird. Small context, I'm early 20s and working in a management hotel in Australia, and I was wearing a badge suit, white shirt with no tie, and a Frankenstein and creature pin on my jacket. I was walking over to a different hotel across the street to have a quick catch-up with the F&B manager, and was about to enter through a revolving door when an old male, he looked about 60, let's call him OM, with his bags comes walking out as I go to enter. He looks at me as I walk past him and then looks at a taxi parked out front. He stopped me from entering the door and the interaction goes like this. Do you have any passengers? Sorry? Are you taking anyone at the moment or can I just jump in? He points at the taxi. I'm sorry, mate, I don't understand. Can I help you? Yeah, you can take my bags. And he points towards the taxi again and tries to give me his bags. I think you got me confused with the taxi driver, mate. This ain't mine. I shake my head and wiggle around him to walk into the hotel. He scoffs as I was entering and says something under his breath and walks towards the taxi. I really don't understand some of the older people. I'm fairly used to people stopping to ask for directions on how to get to places, as the street I work on can be a little confusing, and of course customer service standards of a hotel. But this interaction was definitely the weirdest for me. I was in no way dressed like a taxi driver, nor wearing anything remotely similar to the uniform of the hotel I was trying to enter. Some people just need to find a new supplier for common sense. And sadly, suppliers for common sense are rare to absolutely non-existent. Anyway, on to the next story. It happens a lot, actually. I'm on the other side of this subreddit. Years ago, I'm on a work trip in Vegas with my two supervisors. It's my first trip to Vegas, first trip with the company, and the first day on the new job. My supervisors tell me they like to party hard when they are on work trips because they're straight-laced at home. And well, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. First night, I'm trying to keep up with these two guys. They're 20 and 30 years older than me. Younger boss, big guy, 6 foot and 6 inches, 275 pounds, starts his night with an 18-pack of beer. The older boss, I still believe was a raging alcoholic, starts his day with a bottle of Captain Morgan. I'm the 22-year-old guy and nervous, so I'm taking it easy. At the end of the night, around midnight-ish, early for Vegas, they finally decide to get dinner. Younger boss points us to a Benihana-style restaurant and we spend far too much money, as he's buying drinks for the table. I'm stuck with the bill as younger boss and older boss stagger out of the door without even thinking twice about paying. Younger boss decides that we're close enough to our hotel that we could just walk to the strip. I'm lost, so I can't argue. After what feels like an hour of herding these two drunk cats down the strip, they finally relent and decide, let's get a taxi. At this point, we're at a convenience store, parking lot, and this car skates up alongside us. Younger boss and older boss open the back door and climb in. Take us to XYZ Hotel. You know that's right around the corner, right? Yeah, but I'm tired and don't want to walk. Okay, whatever. I close the door and we are driven around the corner, which was about a minute or two at most. Younger boss and older boss jump out of the car, stagger into the hotel, and I am once again stuck with the bill. Then I notice it. There's absolutely no meter. Dude, you don't have a meter. How much do I owe you? Whatever you feel like, I'm not a cab. Holy crap, I'm so sorry. Why on earth did you just let us jump in your random car? No problem, it happens a lot actually. I paid the guy a couple of 20s and apologized again. So yeah, I'm the "Hey lady, do you work here" guy. I do work here, lady, and I'm not stealing. Maybe the weirdest experience at a job, and probably the top 5 weirdest experiences of my life. So most businesses will sell things for cheaper when they're close to the due date, so that they can recoup at least some, if not all, of the cost of the product. I was working the freezers and filling up with some of those vacuum-packed meat cuts, which was going for nearly half price. For context, this specific clearance had a rule where you could only buy 3 pieces. I had a cart with me and was filling the freezer up again. Yeah, someone screwed up so bad we had over 100 pieces to sell in less than a week before they went bad. I don't know, not my job to check dates. My job is to fill freezers, when a hellspawn woman comes right in. Of note, I was wearing the full uniform of the place and was currently leaning on the freezer, while neatly placing the meat packs on it. And she just shrieks, like full-on banshee-style shriek, and says, "I'm stealing the meat!" I'm not sure if she's from a country land or whatever the hell, but at least they're here normal reality. Putting something from your cart into a freezer is literally the opposite of stealing, but I digress. She then wrestles a piece of meat out of my hand, puts it in her cart, does the same for 2 more, and then tells me she will call security. LP comes, asks both me and her what's going on. I say nothing and keep trying to do my job, but she again stops me and says, "I'm a thief, and I'm taking more than is allowed by the rules." The guy visibly sighs, and she asks if she thinks she's an idiot. I don't resist and start laughing, like ugly laughing. She gets visibly angry at my laughing. I'm just trying to recover my composure until loss prevention guy says, "All is fine, and I'm just restocking the freezer." She said I should have just told her that. I did 4 times, by the way, and goes on a tirade about how incompetent everyone is, and how the store is made out of poo, and how the workers don't even wear their uniforms. Then my cap with the store logo mysteriously falls from my head, and I make an effort to pick it up and put it back on my head. Then grab a pen from my shirt pocket, which has the store logo, without saying a word, but, well, visibly smirking. She tells me she'll talk to the manager about the snotty-nosed teenage workers he hired are a bunch of lazy, arrogant pieces of poo. I'm 20, but I look 14. I tell her to have a good day and go back to my job. After all, I do work here, lady. Only the blind would think I was in store uniform. Many years ago, I did side work fixing people's personal computers. If it was a hardware issue, I would diagnose it for them. If it was software or online service related, I generally fixed it for them. I also had a huge collection of what would be called not safe for work t-shirts, supplied for friends and relatives that were curious to see how outrageous a shirt had to be before I wouldn't be seen in public wearing it. Since they avoided outright racism, misogyny, and bigotry, they never found the limit. One day, I found someone I knew asked me if I could fix their kid's PC. Turned out the kid had discovered corn and game cheat sites, and the resulting malware infestation was bogging it down. I fixed the thing, installed some decent antivirus software, and arranged to drop it off at the guy's place of work, a large grocery chain, since I was driving by there early one weekend morning, on the way to help my sister with some remodeling work. I stopped in and was doing morning inventory of the meat cast, so he asked me to just drop it off on the meat manager's desk. I did so, then went to pick up snacks for the road. A woman, about my age, comes up to me when I'm on the chip aisle and starts yelling at me about the large amount of missing product. I asked her why she was telling me, and her answer was, "You're wearing the uniform." Male employees of this company generally work either a gray polo with company logo or a white button-down shirt and tie, dark-colored slacks, a navy blue apron, and black shoes and boots. I was wearing scuffed brown boots, stained and torn blue jeans, and a shirt inspired by a Jack Drew t-shirt on my bill had given me. If you hadn't read Simon Green's Secret Histories, I'm sorry you won't get the reference. I just asked her what part of my clothing looked remotely like the employee uniform and walked off. A few minutes later, I walked by customer service and she was yelling at the staff about the rude and unhelpful employee at the chip aisle. I stopped for a second. She said, "That's him!" I just told the staff I was hoping to save them time, paid, and left. She was still yelling when I went out the door. On to the next story. On to our last story for the day. I promise you I don't work here. My job has me working in a couple local grocery stores a day a week. I'm not a brand rep, I don't wear any branded clothing, I also intentionally avoid wearing the colors of the store brand. Since my job has me bending, reaching, and kneeling a lot, I'm usually in leggings and things like Disneyland t-shirts or shirts with cute sayings. Inoffensive stuff like that. I've also got a mini backpack for my stuff, and a tablet or phone that I'm working on. Despite this, I often have people stop me and ask if I work at the store. That's fine, I get it. I'm clearly working and I'm in the store, so if they're nice when they try to ask, I help them anyway. I'm in these stores a lot and know where a lot of stuff is, and if I don't know, I know exactly who they can ask. If they aren't nice, I just say, I don't work here, and move on. One day I'm doing my thing, listening to my podcast when I feel someone watching me. I glance over my shoulder and sure enough, I'm getting the lead paint stare from an old man at the end of an aisle. I keep working, but I'm working my way down the aisle in his direction. Eventually, I get close enough to him that he asks, "Do you like here?" I don't like his vibe, so I just tell him I don't and try to move on. He stops me and says, "Well, you look like you work here." I just say, "Okay, well, I don't," and once again try to move around him. The man starts following me around the store and just telling me, almost yelling, that I look like I work there. Mind you, he hasn't asked me anything else. No, I just want to know where the pickles are, or anything. I try to ignore him, but eventually I can't anymore. I turn, put on my mom voice and say, "I promise you, I do not work here, because if I did, I would have kicked you out for harassment." He, well, shuffled away after that. That's the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed the stories I had for you. If you did, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!